Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. I guess it's been a while since I've been out to the golf course. It seems every time I come out to play, the weather's bad. It's pretty windy today, not as bad as it usually has been, but it's a little windy today, and all around me there's rain. Hopefully we don't get rained on. I want to continue on with the second part to my warm-up series to when you get out to the course, if you have time to warm up and hit some balls before you go out and play. We did some stretches, and now we're going to do warm up on the range. Kind of explain my little warm-up routine before I go out. If you have time to get to the range before you go out, I recommend doing that, and then you can be able to swing free instead of getting out to the first tee and haven't hit balls yet and you're all stiff. It kind of helps to get to the range first. And this even helps on days you have tournaments, if any of you play in tournaments. I'll kind of explain what I like to do when I get out to the course, and what I like to do for my warm-up routine before I make it out to the first tee. So let's get to it. Alright, so it started raining a little bit, but we'll stay out here because I think it's not going to stay too heavy. It's calming down again. But first thing I like to do, if I get out to the course and I start off on hole number 1 without swinging or anything, it usually takes me 4 or 5 holes to really get into play. And I feel like I have a hard time parring those first 4 or 5 holes. I'm struggling all around the course. So it's important for me to get out and get on the driving range. So what I do is when I come out to the driving range and after I stretch and kind of warm up, I like to start out with a wedge. I've pulled out my 52 here. I'm going to hit some shorter shots and then kind of progress to my full swing. So I'm going to start out with a kind of a half swing and then progress to a full swing. And this way I just get into the motion. And what I'm working on before I go out and play is what I've been working on in my game. And for me, my issue is I come over the top. And so what I'm looking at when I'm here practicing before I go out and play is to make sure that when I come up here, instead of this move here where I do my shoulders first and then down, when you do that, you cut across the ball here. And what I want to do here is I want to come back like this, and instead of doing this move first, I want to come down here first and then my hands through. And that way I can make sure before I start my rotation that I get my hands through. So I'm going to start hitting a few shots like that with my wedge, and I'll work up in my clubs. Alright, so what I'm going to do is just, the little half swings, and then I'll progress to a full swing. And another thing I do when I get to the driving range, because the driving range is so wide, I like to have a target line. And as you can see from where I'm standing, I have the power lines, which I kind of like to hit in between the power lines. It kind of helps me keep my target line, and then I know if I'm actually hitting to my target instead of at a driving range when it's wide open. If you hit a little this way, you can't really tell how far off you are. So by this I can tell how far off I am. And also with my wedges and stuff, I'll pick a target and just hit at the target. But let's do a couple swings and we'll progress up our clubs. And then I'll go into a little more detail as to before I'm going off the tee what I like to do. Alright, so my target line right now, there's a green off to the left that I'm just aiming at right now. What I'm trying to really work on also, like I said, is to make sure I drop my hands first before I start my rotation, so I don't end up pulling the ball. So I'm trying to focus on that too right now. Then we'll progress up to a little more of a full swing here. Just keeping that thought in my head of dropping my hands first and then my rotation. Why do I always get this wind and rain? It's not like cold right now, which is better, but it's just windy and raining. All right, we'll do one more here. This one I'll do at my target line. All right, right down my target line. Now I'm going to progress up my clubs. Now if I have time, I'll usually go up my clubs, you know, wedge to some other wedges, and then, you know, 9, 7, 5, just kind of work up that way. But for the video's sake, I'll just start. Right now I pulled my 7. We'll go with that. All right, well, storm's kind of passed. We've been hiding behind the camera. There's this long pole that hiding behind. But we're back at it. I got my 7-iron. Gonna hit some shots with my 7-iron out there, then we'll club up again. But again, I'm just gonna keep that thought in my head of this rotation here after I drop my hands, and then rotate through the ball. And that way I don't pull the ball. That's my biggest issue, is pulling the ball. So while you're out prepping for your round, keep in your mind what your biggest issue is that you've been working on, and work on that on the range before you go out. I tend to find that if I just go out and play, I'll end up pull the ball off of a lot of shots, tee shots, out in the fairway. So I like to try and work that out before I go out and play.
Hey, Daddy.
Hey, dude.
Daddy.
Did you see me hit the ball? All right, that one was pretty good. We'll try and keep that swing thought in my head again. I've dropped my hands and then through. A lot of times, you know, if I rotate up here, I come down. If you're open, you're cutting across the ball, that ball's going to go right. If you come down, your hands are closed, that ball's just going to go left on you. So it's important to keep your hands and your right elbow on the inside. I mean, that's what I'm working on here. And then get your hands through the ball. And then one thing I can see is where my ball's at in conjunction with the power line, so I can see how far I'm off on my aim, or if I'm open, closed, whatever. So I can try and fix it as I'm hitting. That's why it's nice to have a target line like I have, so I can fix those things if they come up. So that time I fixed it. It's right down my line. All right, we'll club up again. That was a 7-iron. I'm just gonna go to my 4-iron right now. And my main target is, straight ahead, there's a power pole. I don't know if, usually with the wind I might be able to hit it with my 4-iron. Usually, you know, 3-iron, 2-iron, something like that, and I can hit it. So we're gonna aim for that and just keep going at it. It's a little bit off there, but still a decent shot. Another thing that I've been really working at too is one reason I think I pull the ball a lot is because I come up here and I'll be past parallel or parallel. I'm trying to shorten my swing, so I get right here instead of way back here, and I think I can control, you know, that movement a little easier. So I'm also working on that. And these are all decent shots that I'm hitting here. I'm just trying to get the feel. So when I'm out on the course, I can keep that feel. All right, so I've kind of gotten a little warmed up with my 4-iron. I'll club up now to my 3-wood. Keeping that same target line in my sights here. Now another thing I can do to help me transition from my upswing to my downswing and make sure I get to that right side is to keep myself behind the ball. If I have a ball here if I have a ball here and I'm kind of in front of it, I'm going to be on top of that ball coming down. And I want to make sure that I'm behind the ball here so I can transition to here a little easier. And that one was a good hit. One more thing is my follow through. I don't want to follow through and stop here. So everything I'm working on here is something I'm going to try and duplicate out on the driving range, so I want to make sure that I am hitting good shots here. Alright, we'll give it one more shot here, and then I'll go up to my driver. Same thing with my driver. Just keep in mind what I've been working on and get the feel of it. Alright, so I'm going to try and finish up here before it completely rains on us. More stuff's coming this way. Once I've gone through my clubs, what I do is I visualize the first tee that I'm going to be teeing off of, and I try to work through my routine that I'm going to do on the tee box. So I'm going to pretend, if you go back to the video of the front nine tour, the first hole is a par 5, and it's just a straightaway drive is what I'm going to be trying for when I step up to that tee. So this shot right here I'm going to do is I'm going to visualize it like I would on the first tee. That way I get a little mentally prepared for when I step out on the first tee of what I want to do, and I'm going to try and do the exact same thing. So here's what I'm going to do. Alright, so I've teed my ball up, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand behind the ball, and I'm going to visualize my swing and how I want that ball to be flying off the club face. So I do it on the, I'm going to do the exact same thing on the first hole. So everything I do, I'm going to repeat it on the first hole. And usually I'll do 3 swings and try and get that feel of keeping my elbow on my right side and through. Once I've done that and visualized my shot, then I'll step up and hit the shot. So I'll do it for you guys now, and this is what I want to replicate on the first tee. And just like that, I hope that this weather will pass by so I can go play a few holes for you guys. But that's what I want to do. I visualize my shot like I was going to do on the first hole. I'll usually go through a few of them so that I can get that routine in my head that I'll do the same thing when I get to the first tee. Warming up is a very important thing to do before you go out and play. It helps you loosen up. It helps you figure out some of those kinks you might have out on the course, and it'll help you round a little bit better. So when you get to this part of your warm-up, just visualize your shot like you're going to hit on that first hole, so when you get out to the first hole you already know what you're going to do. So we'll just end there, and hopefully this weather passes and we'll hopefully see you on the first tee. Thanks. Well, as you can tell, it rained me out today and I'm wearing a different shirt. Just thought I would review what we talked about on the driving range today. When you get out to the driving range and you're preparing your round, just take a look at what it is you are working on in your swing and your thoughts, and try to prepare yourself on the driving range so when you get out to the course you can just easily go and have those things worked out. You can stand up to the first tee and just be prepared mentally, prepared physically. Take a look at your shot, go and swing. And you should have worked it all out on the driving range, and you're warmed up and ready to go. It's important to do that on the driving range. I find that if I just go out and play without hitting the driving range up first, I stand on the first tee and I just struggle through the first 4 holes, and it's hard to get a par until I'm warmed up. So it's important to get that warm up in before you head out to the golf course. That way you are prepared, and it kind of helps for also tournament play. If you have a tournament, get to the golf course early, go putt around, get a feel for the greens, If you watch any tournament that Tiger's in, and I'm sure other players are the same, they do their driving range first, and then they go and putt before they head out to the course. They get the feel for the greens and stuff. But that's another video we'll do, is putting and preparing to putt. But just when you get to the golf course and you want to be prepared to play that day, go hit some balls. Just do some warm up, quick warm up. Start with your wedge. I find it's easier to start with a wedge than going straight to the driver. You can just start warming up with a shorter club and then work your way up to the driver. And then after you've done your warm up, prepare for that first tee. Visualize your shot, stand behind it, pretend like you're on the first tee, and do what you're gonna do on the first tee. Visualize your shot, do your pre-routine, stand up. Don't spend too much time over the ball, because the thoughts just come in your head. You want to keep that good thought in your head, the good swing thought. Stand over the ball and do that. Take your swing and hit the ball, and just trust it, and you'll see yourself hit the ball better off that first tee, because you've prepared physically and mentally for it beforehand. As you're preparing yourself on the driving range for that first tee, get all your thoughts in order before you stand over the ball. Like I was saying, it's not, you don't want to spend too much time once you're up at the ball, addressed to the ball. Your thoughts can come creeping back in. There's water right, trees left. Pick your spot out, stand up, and hit the ball. Preparing yourself beforehand will help you on your game during your round. It's very important to, if you want to play a good round, get some kind of warm-up in before you head out to the course. Sometimes you get to the course and you're not able to do that, but if you have the time, go spend a few minutes on the driving range. And if not, just warm up the best you can, and just keep good mental thoughts, so you can be prepared when you're teeing off and for each shot you hit on the golf course. But I would recommend getting to the golf course early before your tee time, get in some warm up, driving range time, get a feel for the greens, and then head out to the course. And I think you'll be really good. I'm sorry I didn't get out to the course today. I seem to have really bad luck when I am playing golf lately. It's raining, it's windy, and with my work schedule, it's always nice when I'm working, but when I'm off, it's always raining. But hopefully in the next couple days, we'll be able to get back out to the course and do a course vlog with my warm-up. I wanted to get out after my warm-up and then play around and do a course vlog after that, so we'll have to do that. My dad's going out of town, and I'm going out of town. My family and I are going to Japan. My dad's actually heading out to California, but and I'm not quite sure I'll be able to play in Japan. It seems pretty pricey there to play, but we're going to go see my brother who lives there, and I'll probably do a vlog while I'm there, if we can go to a driving range while I'm there, or to a golf store. I might pick something up while I'm there to give away to you guys, something interesting from Japan that's golf related, and maybe we'll find something to give away from Japan. But we're going to be leaving soon, so I'm going to try and have these videos so I can post them as we're in Japan. If not, we'll have some videos coming up, this driving range one, and then I have a course vlog that's probably going to be up before this, but then also another giveaway. So anyways, just stay tuned for more videos. Hit that subscribe button, comment below, and we really appreciate all the subscriptions, and keep coming back. There's going to be some awesome videos as the weather's warming up and springtime's coming around. Thanks very much, and we'll see you around next time.